History. Chapter 3. The American Civil War. Part 3. Results and Reconstruction After the War. Welcome to Part 3, students. Now let's examine what happened after the war, the results, reconstruction, and how the nation struggled to reunite. The war had ended, but the hard work of healing a divided nation and integrating millions of formerly enslaved people was just beginning. Immediate results of the Civil War. The Civil War produced several profound results that permanently changed America. First and most importantly, slavery was abolished throughout the United States. The 13th Amendment to the Constitution, ratified in December 1865, stated that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States. 4 million African Americans who had been enslaved were now legally free. This was monumental, though legal freedom didn't immediately mean true equality or justice. Second, the question of secession was settled forever. The Civil War established definitively that the American Union was indissoluble, no state had the right to leave. The Confederate claim that states could secede was thoroughly rejected. The United States was one nation that could not be broken apart. Third, the federal government's authority was firmly established as supreme over state governments. Before the war, there had been debates about whether states or the federal government had ultimate authority. The war's outcome settled this question: federal law was supreme. This strengthened national unity. Fourth, the Civil War accelerated America's economic and industrial development on an unprecedented scale. The war had required massive industrial production. Northern factories had expanded enormously. After the war, this industrial capacity was redirected toward peacetime production, spurring rapid economic growth. The devastation of the South. While the North celebrated victory, the South faced devastation. Nearly all fighting had taken place on Southern soil, and destruction was immense. Southern cities like Atlanta, Richmond, and Columbia were largely destroyed. Plantations and farms had been ravaged. Union armies had deliberately destroyed railroads, bridges, factories, and crops. General Sherman's famous march to the sea had left a path of destruction across Georgia and South Carolina. The South's economy was shattered. The cotton economy had collapsed. Confederate currency was worthless. People's savings had disappeared overnight. Banks had failed. The labor system based on slavery had ended, and plantation owners didn't know how to farm without enslaved workers. Many faced bankruptcy. Southern society was traumatized. Nearly every family had lost fathers, sons, or brothers. Thousands of veterans returned wounded or disabled. Widows and orphans struggled to survive. Food was scarce, and many faced starvation. The psychological impact was severe. Southerners had lost not just a war but their entire way of life. Their society based on slavery and plantations was gone. The challenge of reconstruction. The period following the war is called Reconstruction, the process of rebuilding the South and reintegrating Confederate states. This period lasted roughly from 1865 to 1877 and was extremely difficult. President Lincoln had wanted a lenient approach. He believed in malice toward none, with charity for all. He wanted to quickly restore southern states with minimal punishment. Unfortunately, his assassination meant he couldn't implement his vision. After Lincoln's death, his successor Andrew Johnson tried lenient policies, but Congress disagreed. Radical Republicans in Congress wanted to ensure former slaves received rights and that the South didn't re-establish slavery under a different name. Congress passed several constitutional amendments during Reconstruction. The 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868, granted citizenship to all people born in the United States, including former slaves, and guaranteed equal protection under law. The 15th Amendment, ratified in 1870, stated that voting rights couldn't be denied based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. The experience of freed slaves. For 4 million formerly enslaved people, freedom was both wonderful and terrifying. They were free at last, but freedom brought enormous challenges. Many left plantations, traveling to find family members sold away years before. Some went to cities seeking jobs. Others stayed on plantations, not knowing where else to go. The federal government established the Freedmen's Bureau to help former slaves transition to freedom. The Bureau provided food, built schools, helped negotiate labor contracts, and protected freed people's rights. Many freed slaves were eager to learn reading and writing, skills forbidden under slavery. However, freed slaves faced tremendous obstacles. They had no money, no land, no education, and no resources. Most had no choice but to work for former masters under sharecropping. Sharecroppers farmed land owned by others, giving a share of crops as payment. This system often trapped them in debt and poverty, almost as oppressive as slavery. Furthermore, many white Southerners refused to accept black people as equals. Groups like the Ku Klux Klan used violence and terror to intimidate black people and prevent them from exercising rights. Despite constitutional amendments guaranteeing rights, Southern states found ways to deny black people the right to vote or enjoy equal treatment. The end of Reconstruction. Reconstruction officially ended in 1877 when federal troops were withdrawn from the South. After federal protection ended, Southern states quickly enacted Jim Crow laws that enforced racial segregation and denied black people their rights. The promise of Reconstruction, that freed slaves would become equal citizens, was largely betrayed. It would take another century and the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s before African Americans would finally achieve the equality that should have been theirs after the Civil War. Economic recovery. Despite Reconstruction's problems, America experienced remarkable economic growth. Railroads expanded across the continent. New industries emerged: steel, oil, and manufacturing. Cities grew rapidly. Immigration from Europe increased. By the late 19th century, the United States was becoming an industrial powerhouse. Conclusion. The war abolished slavery and established federal authority, but Reconstruction largely failed to provide freed slaves true equality. Economic growth accelerated, but racial injustice continued. In Part 4, we'll examine the war's lasting significance and Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy.